Hey guys, Snook here, and today I'm gonna tell you a story. Something that happened here in our server, and you are gonna help me find an answer, maybe, yes? So, I'm sorry, no buildings for today. This video is gonna be different because I really need to share this with you, and hopefully someone in the comments will share some kind of insight of how this happened. You will see what I mean. Let's jump into it. It started about a month ago. I logged into the server just like any other day. The server felt a bit laggy today, which is weird. It doesn't tend to be laggy. But this slowness, this delay, it was different. I couldn't really explain it. It felt like something was off. I shrugged it off. Anyway, I was currently at a friend's base who resides in a snow biome. I was gonna grab some of my stuff that I left into one of his chests. His chests were into some kind of igloo, and I tried to open the door of the igloo, and this is what happens. Only half of it opened. The remaining closed part of the door, it wouldn't let me through. So, it wasn't just a visual bug. The half of the door was really still closed and it was obstructing me. I blame it to the weird lag and the clunkiness and all that stuff. I tried again. And this is what happens. Now the upper part of the door was closed. Same result, I couldn't get through. I laughed, I broke the door entirely, got in, got my stuff, put back the door on the igloo, and I decided to take a stroll around his base before I fly away back to mine. As I walked around, I noticed a tiny black dot in the sky. The black dot seemingly appeared from somewhere near the ground, and quickly it started flying very fast in an absolute vertical direction upwards. I wasn't very quick to react, so the only thing I managed to do was to fly as fast as possible nearby this black dot and take a screenshot of it. It was a bat, but it was an upside down bat. At the moment, what I assumed was that someone played a prank and named the little creature Dinnerbone, and for some reason it was flying upwards because it's a bat, an upside down bat. For those who don't know, I assume everyone knows, but for those few who don't, when you name tag a creature with the word Dinnerbone, it will turn on its head, upside down, and walk around like that. So yeah, I was alone at the server at the moment, but that couldn't mean that maybe someone was actually playing a prank and they have prepared it beforehand for someone to, I don't know, spot that bat eventually. It was too late to overanalyze it, as the bat very soon disappeared entirely from my vision, and it continued to supposedly fly upwards towards space, most likely. And trust me, I tried to keep up with it for some seconds, but it kept accelerating and it was near impossible to do so. So that was weird. I thought to myself, first the doors, then the bat. What's next? Nevertheless, the night was coming and I just realized that I had entirely forgotten that we soon had to restart the server. We close the server when we have to pass updates for server mods and stuff like maintenance. Maintenance, most like, maintenance. Naturally, night came and darkness spread. The area that was at the moment wasn't lit, so hostile mobs started to spawn. I didn't really care because I was sitting on top of some tall spruce trees. And then things got even worse. Zombies, skeletons, witches, and even strays appeared, but there was a catch. All of them, or at least most of them, as far as I remember, were spawning upside down, just like the bat. And that was, very unreal. I managed to fly by next to some of these mobs, and they were all named Dinnerbone. But guys, that was impossible. They were literally spawning just now in front of my eyes. They couldn't be tag named from anyone. It was impossible. And as I said, I was the only one in the server at the moment. So they were spawning like this, and as soon as they spawn, within seconds, they would start to float upside down the same way that the bat did. In my mind, the bat was floating because it's a bat and it flies, but these mobs now were doing it too. They started to accelerate and eventually, disappear from my field of view. I just stood there, bamboozled. I have never seen that happen before. I had no idea what kind of bug or prank that was. I was slow enough not to record it and stupid enough because I was so dumbfounded that I don't know, I didn't thought of recording it. And at that moment, as I was thinking that, the server went down. It went down for the schedule updates, as I said before. So during the downtime, I asked my buddy Tommy, the server owner of that time, if he knew anything about it or if he was just messing with me, but nothing. He had no idea what I was talking about. And I knew it was a long shot, but I also asked the player who inhabits the area, a great lad, by the way, very good player too. He had no idea, of course. No idea what I was talking about. He hasn't seen anything like that. He doesn't know. No one knew what I was talking about. I pondered a bit. Then the server restarted. So I quickly hopped online to check it again, and this time record it. But what do you know? All the mobs were gone. Nothing was floating. I flew around, scouted the area. Nothing. The clunkiness was gone. The doors were working properly again. Seems like the server restart fixed everything. Or so I thought. Until I found some remains. Some fish remained named like that. I think there were about 4 or 5 of them. And they were trapped underwater because of the surface ice of the snow biome. So I was like, yeah, okay, I have some more proof that I'm not entirely crazy and I didn't just dream up what happened. After a while, for whatever reason, I eventually logged out and went to sleep. A day or two after, I did show those Dinnerbone fish to the player who had his base there, as I said before, and his reaction was the same. He had no idea why and how this happened. And we both, discussed it and laughed at the weirdness of the situation and forgot all about it. The following days were calm. Nothing happened. We didn't think of it anymore. Until... Bro was like showing me a bunch of weird upside down chunks. That's right, we evolved from having a few Dinnerbone mobs to having Dinnerbone chunks. My first reaction was excitement because this was weird and unique and funny, and everyone's reaction actually was the same. It was fun until it wasn't. We flew over there to check out the chunks, and it was chaos. Let me share a few screenshots of the console command of the server. The more players were coming around to check it out, the worse it was getting. Entities were being renamed on their own Dinnerbone, and many of them would instantly die, suffocating walls apparently. The lucky ones, we saw them soaring into the sky, the same way that, I first encountered this thing about a month ago. Horses, pigs, sheep, anything. It was upside down, flying to the sky, towards the space. And eventually the server got super laggy, mostly because the chunks that were upside down had pools of, water and lava. If you've seen the screenshots, they were cut, in a very weird manner, like sliced, and many of the inner, lava pools and stuff like that were overflowing. So they kept going into the void, and this was causing a severe lag into the server, and the server eventually crashed and kicked us all out. What happened afterwards was me spending all my Saturday night trying to fix this problem. And the only solution I could figure out, along with Tommy, was that we had to reset these chunks and pray that this, won't occur again. Our basic theory is that we use this program called MCA Selector. I'm sure many of you know it. That helps you reset chunks or import chunks and export and stuff like that. We only use it to reset chunks in order to include the latest Minecraft updates. So, our players don't have to travel billion blocks away in order to experience the new content of the game. So by force resetting a chunk, it includes anything new in the code of Minecraft. So anyway, we have used this program before without any issue. Like no issue at all. Resetting and having new chunks generate and everything was fine. And this is what we would do this time too. I had to download backups, I had to upload the resetted version and hope that it won't mess up things. And that's what I did. Thing is, we still don't know why this happened. We assume it was something with the reset of the chunks that we caused. We haven't been able to recreate the error. It still doesn't explain why entities are being renamed Dinnerbone on themselves. Because I can understand corrupting a chunk because you try to reset it, but I don't understand how that affects the entities being renamed on themselves. This is the main reason I made this video, because I did Google it and I found no answers. Instead, I found, I don't know, mod packs that are upside down custom made chunks that it's not even close to what we had. We had the real thing, the real error. But yeah, I didn't find any answer. So this is why I'm documenting this and telling you the story from the very start I witnessed, just in case it helps and you're able to, give us an answer. Most of the chunks are now fine, they're normal, since, I resetted them again. I think the Dinnerbone fish remain, and I assume that there might be remains other weird entities around too. And now, of course, you will be like, oh Snook, you're faking it. All you show us is screenshots of those chunks and nothing more, and Dinnerbone mobs that maybe you did. Even though I clearly saw you that the console was doing it by itself. But okay guys, we actually accidentally kept some of the chunks, or a chunk. Instead of, just telling you the story of what happened, I can actually show you of one of the chunks that remain as it is. I'm considering keeping it to the server, like a little memorial of what happened. I'm a bit scared that there might be more of them around, but I'm not gonna go explore, our whole map to discover them. I'll just let the players find them eventually, and I will have to spend another night to fix it all. I don't know. Now, this is gonna be a very fast and little tour on this chunk that remained corrupted. I'm a bit scared whether it's gonna start lagging the server. Let's see what happens. And there is one more thing I forgot to say, is that after all was done and fixed and everything, I wasn't fixed. What happened for some reason is that only I and no one else had my data corrupted or something, and I actually lost all my inventory, everything, even what I was wearing, rip netherite. And not only that, but my ender chest lost all its items. And of course, I had valuable items and stuff in there. I also lost all the materials. No, not materials, all the recipes. Basically, it's like my existence got wiped out from the server, and I was like a new player just joining in. Even though, my recipe was blank, when you pick materials and stuff, you unlock the recipes related to that material. That wouldn't happen to me. It refused to unlock me anything. It wouldn't let me craft nothing. It was weird. We managed to fix it by putting some kind of command that unlocks all the recipes again, and everything was fixed. On that matter, at least. Guys, basically, this whole story is some kind of glitch that targeted me in order to ruin my weekend. Okay, this is what it is. That's it. It's like you, Snook. Yeah, that's what it is. Jokes aside, please let me know if you have seen anything even close to this happen before, because it makes me anxious when things happen and I don't know why they happen. So I prefer to know the reason why this error occurred, and if I know why it happens, I can fix it easier next time if it happens again, which I hope not. I will just let this clip roll so you see the whole video of me exploring the chunk. And that's it pretty much. I really hope to get an answer from you guys. Uh, until next time, take care and see you around.